What's up? Peep Squad is in the building, baby. Peep Squad is in the building. Let's get into it. Let's talk about the situation at hand. Let's talk about what is going on. Wendy Williams has been out here doing her thing, baby. She's been out here shading, and she shaded the shit out of YFN Lucci and Lil Wayne. I was like, damn. And Reginae caught her. You know, Wendy Williams out here shading. She's also out here making allegations against, you know, R&B singer. His name is Sherrick, aka Lamont Smith, and Lamont Smith's wife. She responds to the situation and she's calling out Wendy. So it's going back and forth with this situation. So we're gonna see how it pans out, because Wendy Williams has made allegation that Sherick had raped her allegedly, and she put it in her, you know, film, her documentary. So it is going down. But Sherick, aka Lamont Smith wife, has responded to the allegation. So we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into OG from Basketball Wives. She's saying that she is forced to film. I was like, Lord have mercy, what is going on with this situation? There's a whole lot going on, so let's get to it. Let's just start with the situation. So it is going down with Wendy Williams. She came out here ready, and also we're gonna be talking about the new storylines for Basketball Wives 2 as well, and old storylines being refurbished. So we're going to get into that, Malaysia. So let's go. Let's get into it. So let's get into YFN Lucci. He really get dissed by Wendy Williams. She was not playing with him, point blank period, when she was talking about his ass on national TV. She basically said, what is going on with this man? What is he doing? She was like, oh, his name is YFN Lucci. And she was like, oh, he's supposed to be fly. Well, you ain't even that fly at 27. I was like, damn, what's going on, Wendy? You feeling a certain type of way. So basically Wendy's saying he's not even that fly, and why is he out here hanging with 17-year-olds? Because as you know, a young man that's 17 years old, he was arrested in a connection with the murder of James Adams, and also, you know, another young man was connected to that murder, and he was 20 something years old, and YFN Lucci's connected too. So YFN Lucci, he turned himself in. He's in full County Jail as we speak. So he's handling that situation. But she gets into his ass and she explains the situation, that this man had another man hanging out of the SUV, and she was just like, Lord have mercy. And then he had a wound to the head. He departed from this earth. There was another victim that she talked about, a pedestrian, you know, somebody on the road, basically helping the victim, you know, James Adams, and helping him through his situation to see what she can do, how she can help. So we're gonna find out if, you know, the witness says that she didn't see anything. And Wendy Williams was basically describing the whole situation, basically talking about how awful it was to be riding in traffic. And if you've seen YFN, you know, with his crew in an SUV, a man hanging out the window, and then boom, he gets thrown out. I was like, damn. And she was not, you know, mixing any words together. And she was just like, damn. And she said he had only one job to do. And one of his jobs to do is to keep his daughters off the pole. Like, Lord have mercy. And she's basically saying, Wendy Williams is saying that the 17-year-old that was arrested in connection with the murder of James Adams, you know, the 17 and the 20-year-old need to snitch. They need to tell what's on their mind. They need to let the people know what's going on and what's happening and the situation. I was like, damn. It's one of them type of situations, for real, for real. I was just like, Wendy is not playing around. And she was just, you know, reading him for filth. So I was like, what's going on with this situation? Like, it's crazy how she came at him. She came at YFN Lucci, basically saying, like, you know, you're worthless, and Reginae need to run from you, and hopefully she'll stay away from you. I was like, damn, she wasn't even playing with the situation. And she also, you know, basically was just looking at him like, you a father father of 4. Anyway, Reginae need to move on with the situation. And then she lists his charges, and she was just like, damn, all you had to do was one thing, and you couldn't even do that. So I was like, damn, she ain't playing with that situation. She feeling a certain type of way about YFN, and she made it be known, and she didn't just, I was just like, damn, Wendy, she was feeling a certain type of way. And then she also made it known that Reginae is a friend of the show, and she also wants, she's happy that Reginae did unfollow, YFN on all social medias, and she's just basically saying that, girl, you need to get it together. And she's also criticized her too as well, because she's like, Reginae caught her trying to give relationship advice. Who is she? She's only like 21 years old. Like, I'm gonna call her up and ask her for relationship advice if I'm going through a divorce. Like, come on. And she said basically, you are privileged, so, and you got enhancements. So she's talking about her breast being done and everything else like that. So I was like, ooh wee, baby, Wendy is feeling a certain type of way. And she was like, you just need to leave that man alone, because ain't your father in trouble? Then she went after Lil Wayne. She basically talked about Lil Wayne, and she was like, listen, let me tell you, I wouldn't even hold a blow dryer because it represents a gun. She goes, I wouldn't even hold a lighter that represents a gun when you smoking them blunts. So basically she's calling out Lil Wayne, getting caught out there with all them drugs. He got caught up with, heroin, cocaine, cough syrup. He got caught out there, with pills and a whole 9 yards. He got caught out there with everything, baby. So I was like, And she was like, if I was him and I was on probation, I wouldn't even hold a picture of a gun. I wouldn't even hold a blow dry. I was like, damn, she was getting in. This ain't the first time she got on Lil Wayne and his charges. So basically, she's just telling Reginae to move forward, move on. Hey, what's up, Miss T? Hey, what's up, Rashida? And so I'm just like, Lord have mercy. Wendy Williams went in. She was talking her ish about, Mr. YFN, basically. And then, Wendy Williams started to act out the situation with YFN. She was like, oh my God, just imagine. I was like, oh boy, she was putting ice on the fire, baby. Because especially when she started to talk about Bruce Willis, and how Bruce Willis was in, one of these stores, and he didn't want to wear a mask, and he was asked to leave, and then he just bounced, and then he realized he made a mistake. He shouldn't have did what he did. And she goes, he feels entitled because he's a legend, because he's a star, because he's an icon, with attitudes like that. That's why these kids are messing up. And that's why YFN is out here, acting like his shit don't stink. And he's out here getting charged, with murder, having a man hanging out the van. Could you imagine that? And a poor pedestrian calling 911, help, come on the way. She was reacting it out. And it was just like really in poor taste. But you already know Wendy Williams, she gonna get in where she fits in. So she was acting out the murder that YF is accused of. So it was just like, damn. And she was acting like she was on a 911 call. I was like, girl, what are you doing? I was like, Lord have mercy. Wendy Williams was going in with this situation. So I was just like, damn. And she went in on Lil Wayne. I was like, But Wendy Williams also lets us know, that she's having, a movie, and she has a TV show, a documentary, and a movie, Wendy Williams, What a Mess. She has that coming out in January too as well. That's going to be on Lifetime. And she also has Wendy Williams, the movie, coming out too, that's going to be on Lifetime. And this is where she explains that she was, sexually assaulted by legendary singer, Sherrick, aka Lamar Smith. And she said, so she gets into the situation, she starts to describe what happened. I'm like, Lord have mercy, like she ain't holding back. And she went in on that situation basically to say that, she threw some shots too as well, because Wendy Williams said, thank God I'm not, on drugs, thank God I'm disease free, thank God I'm this and that, because she didn't even know that, Sherrick had died. She didn't even know that he died in 1999. So he's no longer here anymore. So he's gone. His wife came out. She has some things to say too as well about the situation. But let's get into it. Wendy Williams basically was saying that she was a disc jockey back, in Washington, D.C. And that's when she had met, Sherrick. And, he's like a one-hit wonder. He had one song, Lamar Smith. And so basically, she was interviewing him, and he turned around and he interviewed her, and she was like, oh, and he was very engaging. And not only that he was engaging, he basically took over the interview. He had her memorized. She was feeling a certain type of way about, the interview, and she liked him. He looked like, Calvin Haunter. He looks just like him. So it is what it is with that situation. But I was like, Lord have mercy. When she tells what happened with the situation, it just really sounds really bad too, as well, to be caught up in a situation, because Wendy Williams thought that she was going to be chilling, having a good time and hanging out, with this star that's on the radio that has a hit right now. She interviewed him, and basically he invited her to go back to, his hotel room because, he was having an album release party. So she came through, so she went to his hotel. He was like, let's wash up. He introduced cocaine to the situation, and they end up getting high as a kite. He was in the shower allegedly, and she was sitting on the bed, and she was continuing to party and sniff her white lines. She was doing her thing in a room. He was in the shower. I guess he came out, and when he came out, that's when the alleged assault took place. So she was just like shocked, horrified. She said she went home and she washed up and she cleaned up, and she said she just kept it in the back of her mind and she just let it stay there and didn't focus on it. But she's very happy that the Me Too movement started, but she basically just put her situation in a box and kept on moving. And she thought that it wasn't important to say who the person was that, allegedly, assaulted her and took, what he shouldn't have took from her, allegedly. And so, she kept it a secret. She kept it to herself. And now she's able to expose the story. And she was like, well, bad for, Lamont Smith, bad for his children, bad for his kids, bad for his wife. But I'm telling my story. She says she knows there's going to be some backlash. They're going to feel a certain type of way. But this is her story to tell. So you guys let me know what you think about that situation. I was like, Lord have mercy. Hey, Linnell, what's going on? How you doing? So I was just like, Lord have mercy. So she's basically saying that she don't care about how the wife feel. Why would she? She don't know who the wife is. She don't know who his children is, So basically she knew that there was going to be some uproar with the situation, but she ain't worried about the situation. She's telling her story, making her money. It's going to be what it's going to be. I was like, damn, it's her story to tell. And, why would she feel sorry for, his wife or his children if he allegedly assaulted her? She don't got no remorse. She don't owe them nothing. Some people will say, oh, well, she shouldn't have said anything. And that is what, the wife of Sherick is actually saying. He's actually saying that his wife is saying that her name is Lynn Carter Smith. So basically she's coming out and she's saying that she doesn't understand why Wendy Williams is coming out with this story. Let that man rest in peace. He's a good man. He's a good father. He was a good husband. She said Sherrick was a beautiful man, a beautiful soul. He was a genius with a voice like an angel. She told, but she told Page 6 that it's so painful for, Lamont Smith's 3 children and also his nieces, his nephews, and his siblings. And she was like, the soulful singer died, her husband, in 1999. Why is Wendy Williams hashing up the situation when he is not here to defend himself? I was like, Lord, but it's Wendy Williams' story and she gonna tell it. And now she's proud. Now she's ready to tell it. And Wendy Williams said that she's glad that she ain't dead. When she found out that he was dead, she was like, Like, why would she have any remorse, or why would she feel any sympathy for his family? Because this is her story to tell. There's a lot of people that have been, taken away from this earth, has been assaulted. And, when they tell their stories, whether the person is live or not, So, Lamont Smith's wife, she's very upset. She's very mad with the situation. She's feeling a certain type of way. And she was like, my husband is not here to defend himself. He's gone. He's been gone for almost 21 years. It's 21 years ago, that he passed away. So why is she bringing this up? Why is she doing this? Why is she hurting our family? So, Lamont's wife, Lamont Smith's wife, she's feeling a certain type of way. She is very upset and she is very unhappy with the situation. That's why she spoke on it, because she got wind of, what was actually going to be in a documentary and the movie of Wendy Williams. And so she said it just saddens her so much that this is happening to her family, these allegations, and he's no longer here to defend himself. He's not around, and it's only her side of the story. We don't know what really happened. So You guys tell me what you think about that situation. I was like, Lord have mercy. Shit is hitting the fan, baby. The shit is hitting the fan. Hey, Towanda, what's going on? Yes, the shit is hitting the fan. It is hitting the fan quick, fast, in a hurry. But you guys already know that Wendy Williams shit is going to be off the chain. Her documentary and her movie is going to be off the chain. She might have a part 2 or she might not. But you already know she don't give a damn about people's feelings, because if she did, she wouldn't be talking shit that she talks about them. There's certain people that she use grace with, and there's certain people she just go in. Like she went in on, Reginae Quarter and her business, her mind, her advice, and all that other good stuff. So I was just like, what's going on? What's going on, Happy Days? How you doing? So what's going on, LSW? How you doing? What's going on, LaShonda Jones? So that's the situation. So Wendy Williams came out and said that she was, assaulted by R&B singer, legend, icon. I don't know. I don't really know his music. I know one of his songs, I guess, I'll call, you call, we call together or something like that. Lord have mercy. Help me, Jesus. So, he had one hit, but then he still did make the charts. But he wasn't, I guess the drugs and the alcohol got to him. And, he was having a comeback. Before he died in 1999, Lamar Smith, a.k.a. Sherrick, was basically on a comeback, and he wanted to get back into the music business, and he's a writer too as well. He wrote music, but he ended up passing away tragically. But also when Wendy Williams did her interview with Daily News and she talked about the situation, she was really like hardcore. She was like, I'm glad I'm alive. I'm glad I'm living to tell this story. I'm glad I'm not sick and diseased. I'm here to tell my story. So, and then she also said that she said, well, his wife, his children, they're gonna have to deal with the situation, because this is my story and I'm telling it. I was like, Lord, Wendy Williams is hitting the streets. She's hitting the streets hard. Anyone remember that dude? I don't. I know who he is because he comes up in my playlist when I play music on YouTube. But what was his song? His song was like, I called. I don't know. No, but I did listen to the song. It goes Just Call. The song name is Just Call. He's on YouTube. He can actually sing, you know what I mean? But he wasn't someone I heard growing up listening to, or my parents or my aunts or family members or friends listen to. But I did hear, that one song that, that made the charts or whatever, or went number 1 or whatever the case may be. So that's that situation. So Wendy Williams is out here, no holds barred. She don't like YFN Lucci that much, and the way that she described, the 911 call was crazy, and she acted out the scene. And if you guys, let me see if I can, here's a 911 call. Let me put this on hold. So she act out this 911 call, but only the part of the woman, the pedestrian that called the police when, James Adams, departed from this earth. So she act out the lady calling, which is just like, Lord. Here we go.
Alexa 911 for the 2679. What's the address of the emergency?
We need an ambulance. Somebody is laying out. Somebody, I don't know if he barely.
Let me connect you. Stay on the line.
Somebody just threw him out of the car.
Let me connect you to the ambulance.
Huh? He's still trying to fight for his life.
EMS, what's the address of the emergency?
Baby, can y'all please get an ambulance here? This man is dying. He's shot in the head. He just took his last breath, man.
What street are you on, ma'am? Can you give him your location, please, for the ambulance to give the guy some help?
What is his address? Man, he made just took his last breath, man.
Man, we have help on the way already. Tell me exactly what happened.
We don't know. Me and my sister, we were just walking down the street, and somebody just rolled down the street with a man hanging out the car. They just pushed him out the truck and left him for dead.
Ma'am, I thought you said he was shot in the head.
Yes, he is shot in the head. They threw him out the car. He just died. He just took his last breath.
We have the ambulance already on the way, okay?
Okay.
And can you tell me what color vehicle?
Let me go ahead and get fire and PD and
Can you tell me what color vehicle he was stolen from, please?
White.
A white car, truck, or SUV?
SUV.
What direction did the SUV
Yes,
go?
his whole body was just hanging out the car.
Listen, just stay on the phone. Can you tell me if you saw any of the people that were driving the car, whether they
No, I
adults or
didn't see the
kids?
people 'cause they were driving real fast. And we seen his.
All right.
So that's the 911 call, which is sad, and that's just, you know, an awful thing to hear, and for that young lady to go through with her friends. And then also, you know, the young man that's no longer here, James Adams, you know, for his family to hear. But Wendy Williams was on her show acting out, talking about help, come fast. I was like, Wendy, yes, you were right. She was on her game. She was on the money. She was doing it. And today, baby. What's up, Eva? What's going on? How you doing? Wendy made a 911 call. No, Wendy was acting out a 911 call of YFN Lucci, you know, situation with him being charged with murder. You know, YFN Lucci is charged with felony murder. He's charged with aggravated assault. And he's also charged with unlawful for a person employed by associated with criminal street gang activity, whether that falls under a lot of different things. And also possession of a firearm doing the commission of a felony person of another. So, you know, that situation, that's the 911 call. Wendy Williams was kind of acting out the lady on the phone, you know, little small pieces of it when she was describing what happened to, you know, YFN Lucci, his situation, and Lil Wayne, and also Reginae Carter. She was like, yo, she was on the money today. She definitely was. She was, you know, basically calling him out on his ish, but it also seems insensitive too as well to the family, because then she put her head down and she was acting like the 911 call. She put her head down like she was, you know, coddling a baby, but she was actually acting out the 911 caller, coddling, you know, James Adams, the deceased male. And, you know, she went overboard. She definitely did with overboard, but she was on the money. I am honestly waiting for the basketball wife part. I know. So we're done with the Wendy situation. Lord have mercy. Wendy's situation was more fresh and new, so we was going to get into that. So, where am I at now? So here we go. So we're gonna get into the basketball situation. Yes, let me see. We're gonna start off with OG, because, you know, she's in the title. That was sick to watch. Yes. Okay. Thank you. That I thought that was bad. You know, we joke, we have fun, we do blase in the third, but I just like, damn, like that's just way too much. You know. It seems very insensitive, but she's also helping out the victim's family and getting public opinion sway from YFN Lucci, Lil Wayne, and Reginae Carter. But, you know, it just really seemed insensitive, because would she do that to, you know, somebody of a different race? So let's get into the situation. Let's talk about basketball wives. Let's get into OG. So now we don't know what OG's actually going to bring, because her storyline is really, really small and really just, you know, condensed. But we do have the storylines, you know, for basketball wives, and we're going to get into that situation. But let's start off with OG, because OG posted this, you know, to her Instagram, and basically she's saying, I am just here so I don't get fined. Because basically she was asked a question, why you decided to go back to basketball wives, OG? And OG was like, no, I'm only here because I don't want to get fined. So basically, OG did make it known when basketball ended last season that, you know, she can't quit the show because she's under contract. But she did file, you know, she did countersue Evelyn, because Evelyn Lozada filed a defamation of character, defamation, and also stalking. And she filed the defamation of character defamation lawsuit against OG, and then she also filed for a restraining order, which was, thrown out because Evelyn Lozada didn't show up to court. But that's when OG decided to, countersue. So now she got to be back in the fire. She got to be back in the pit, baby. Because it's going to go down this season, because they got too many new faces, too many desperate people, too many people want to jump on the bandwagon. So there's a whole lot going on. We did introduce the new cast members on 2 videos that I did, so check out my basketball wife drama playlist. Check that out. So as we see, OG does not want to film. She doesn't want to be on the show, so I don't know how much we're gonna get from OG, but she might not be in for any type of bull crap, or she might not be putting up with nothing because she don't want to be there. She's forced to be there. So it wasn't like they tried to fire her or try to get rid of her. They are holding her up on her contract that she signed with VH1 Truly Original. So therefore, she got to be there. So she count, and she really talks about social injustice, and she talks about a lot of Black Lives Matter, issues. So we'll see if that same Shawnee on Instagram promoting education, love, knowledge, empowering the people of color, Black people, foundational Black, is she actually going to bring that on the show? Or we're going to see Shawnee, come to a moment where she realized that she did some wrong-ish. I do miss CC too. I can't believe CC is not coming back, but I do understand that she's not coming back. But CC Gutierrez, I liked her, especially when she got feisty. I was like, come on. And she didn't do nothing to deserve the shit that she was being treated. She didn't deserve that. And OG had an open heart. She felt bad. She didn't know CC like that. She knew of them because OG do know people in the industry. And she was asked to be on Basketball Wife maybe 6 or 7 years ago. She auditioned for it. They was going to put her on, but the client that she was working for at the time didn't want her on the show. So she went through the psychological evaluation. She went through the questionnaires. She went through the mental health situation and everything. But at that time, it just didn't pan out. And now she ended up getting on Basketball Wife, years later. So we're going to see, what her situation brings. We know that she's not married to Kwame yet. They're still dating. They still got the loving relationship. But I'm pretty sure Fabrice is going to come for her. Pretty sure Evelyn's going to come for her. And Evelyn's going to do a slick and shady. And also Shawnee O'Neal is going. Shawnee O'Neal, if she comes shady towards her, that's going to look really bad for you, Shawnee, because of all the stuff that you have been doing since the pandemic, since Black Lives Matter movement really, reached the high pinnacle, in the summertime. If she comes on and she's not diplomatic and she's acting ignorant with Evelyn, that's gonna look really bad, because she got all these panels on Instagram talking about justice, peace, and all that other good stuff. So we're gonna see if Shawnee actually brings that. Let's see if we're gonna get, if Shawnee can able to, turn around. But OG, basically, if she doesn't really want to be there, it doesn't really matter if she makes up with the ladies or not. But they're saying her storyline is that she's going to be optimistic. She's going to be open to it. She's going to see what happens. But we all know what's going to go down. It's going to be shade. It's going to be a whole lot of shit going on. But we'll see. We'll see if there's any changes, if they actually hear her out. Because one thing OG did say, that she never ever had a private conversation with Shawnee. She never talked to Shawnee. She never sat down with Shawnee. Shawnee didn't want to have shit to do with her. You know why? Because Shawnee is cool with Evelyn. Evelyn's beefing with her. Shawnee was ganging up the girls to go after OG when they went to Costa Rica. She was like, yo, you guys got to battle. You guys, we lost that round. We got to win the next round. So, and then she was like, oh, OG cannot come to our dinner, our last day dinner. She can't come. But yet when Evelyn said, oh, I got receipts up here. Lord have mercy. I always be forgetting about Kristen Scott. I wanted to put the video up here, which I'm going to do another video on Kristen Scott out here selling everything in her closet for some dollars and some coins and some change. So we have that situation. So let's get to, okay, who else? So we got OG out the way. So that's what's the situation with OG. Basketball Wives, VH1, the production, the producers, the executives, they all wanted OG, and they holding OG to her contract because they will find her and come after her. They wanted her on the show. She was good for TV. She was a fan favorite. And, you know, even though she was a fan favorite and it hurt, you know, Shawnee, because Shawnee ended up doing a little interview with Lamar Hill and basically talk about she wasn't colorist, and, you know, people still refuse to believe that. And let's talk about FUBU. FUBU's in the building. And one thing about FUBU, aka Febreze, I don't really know how she's affording her house in Hollywood, because Evelyn Lozada can't afford her house and lost money. So anyways, not Hollywood, but California. I don't know if she moved back, if it was a rental, but she said on Twitter, you know, last year that she brought her house in California. I don't know if it was true. I don't know if she's lying, but I do know she has other revenue of income. She be on bingo and she makes a lot of money from there. So her storyline this season for Febreze is she's going to return with a new man. So Febreze is coming through with a new man. And so this new man that Febreze is coming through with, allegedly, you know, he's going to be a thorn in the lady's side. So whatever man that she's introducing to the show. So I don't know how he's going to be a part of the show. Is he going to be in the mansion, or are they going to be out chilling? But Febreze storyline is she's going to have a new man, and it's going to cause major problems with the ladies, and she's going to have to pick between her new man and the ladies. And also her ex-boyfriend pushes to threaten and challenge her too. So she's going to have a love triangle. It's saying that she's going to have issues with her new man that she's going to introduce, and one of her exes is going to be threatening her and challenging her in so many different angles. And also, you know, it's going to jeopardize her place in the circle. So her relationship with her new man is going to threaten her place in a circle, whether she's not going to be able to film, whether she's scared to film, whether, you know, he's rude and obnoxious, or whether they're telling her she needs to leave him alone. So she's coming with that situation with a man. And so we're going to see what she brings. But we also know she's going to bring the death of her father, her grandfather up too. And then she's going to talk about the time where, you know, she was accused of being a drug addict, and it was Jackie, and she was so skinny because she was so depressed. And then she's going to probably talk about her heritage and say that she's not, you know, colorist, and she's probably going to attack OG that she's not colorist. And you guys did this to me when I was going through a tragic time. I lost, you know, friends, I lost family members, you know, I lost people, I lost weight, I was sick, you guys was cracking on my weight, and I was going through everything. I was going through depression. So I don't think she's going to be talking about her music, but that's the situation with that. And who else do we have? We have Jennifer. So Jennifer, new storyline is going to be surviving, you know, that crazy man that she was dating. Is going to be Tim Norton. So her situation is going to be surviving, you know, that relationship and everything that went down with Tim Norman, and how she escaped from that situation, how negative that situation was for her. So she is ready to get into the situation and talk about it. And so, you know, that's going to be a winner for Jennifer Williams. This is going to be a winning storyline for Jennifer Williams to be talking about Tim Norman from Welcome to Sweetie Pies, because, you know, he's locked up, he's in jail, conspiracy, killed his nephew, you know, had a contract out on his mother allegedly for life insurance policies, and she could get into deep detail about that situation with him and what she went through and what she saw and what she's not surprised of. And that case is still going on with Tim Norman from Welcome to Sweetie Pies. So that's going to be, she's going to have a really huge storyline because everybody wants to know about that situation. Everybody wants to get the details about that situation and how that relationship was, because we know Jennifer and Tim, you know, Norman went through back and forth on media. They went to court together. There was a whole lot of situations going on between them two. So that's going to be, you know, something big for her. And then also facing, you know, Evelyn Lozada, and allegedly they're supposed to make up. Evelyn Lozada and Jennifer Williams supposed to make up, but Jennifer Williams is also ready to fight back, and she ain't taking no ish. So we're going to see how that situation pans out. But she got like the most curious and the most, storyline that is basically out here, that is so real, because everyone wants to know about Welcome to Sweetie Pie's. What happened? What did Tim Norton do? What everything that happened with him? How Miss Robbie's doing? How was that interaction? So anything that she says about that situation is going to be very deep, because people didn't know about it. And people want to know about it because of his current situation being locked up. So, she kind of got it in a bag. Her storyline this season's in a bag. And they might bring her, situation, why her and Dom, are not friends anymore. But I don't think that's going to really be there. And then we got Evelyn Lozada. Evelyn Lozada's storyline is going to be, Evelyn is preparing to move into a new home, but still having trouble getting through the emotional year of 2020. What emotional year 2020? Every time, she responded to Chad, she called Chad out, called Chad this, called Chad that. She was accused of being, a colorist, a racist. So she's going to bring that up and all that situation. Allegedly, remember when Basketball Wife season ended last season or last year, Evelyn and Shawnee O'Neal was saying that they're in God, they in church, and all the pictures they was posting up from Instagram was Evelyn is saved now, she's in God, Shawnee O'Neal saved, they're in God, they're Christians and all this other good stuff. So she's gonna be talking about her move. So I guarantee we're gonna see her move, her sell her house, her talk about she lost $54,000 in selling her house up and abruptly. And then the Mark Anthony storyline may as well probably come into the situation too, but she's going to be focusing on moving and then getting the girls together. And then she's going to have the situation where all the rumors with Carl Crawford, because Carl Crawford has faced, kidnapping, abuse, and all this other stuff, which Evelyn Lozada jumped on Instagram and said, Carl Crawford was good to her. She didn't know of him being an abusive man. So we're going to have that situation too. So all that is going to be in the Chad Ochocinco situation, where she went on Instagram Live and started crying about Chad because he said he didn't do something. And so you got that. Then you got Carl Crawford and his whole situation with Meg, his situation with his ex, girlfriend and children's mother. So she has a whole lot going on in her storyline too. And she's not afraid to bring up any storyline. And she probably tried to contact Chad too as well. So that's going to be her bit. But she's probably going to do a lot to not seem like she's racist. She's probably going to do a lot to seem like she's not colorist. She might even bite her tongue, and she might even try to play nice. But we know that she can't play nice for too long, especially if you push one little button. She don't know no other way but to be a sewer rat from the Bronx. So it is what it is. So moving on from that situation, so we're going to see with Evelyn and Shawnee O'Neal. So Shawnee O'Neal's situation is, Shawnee O'Neal, basically her storyline is going to be, she's going to be relocating to Houston, Texas to be closer to her kids, but she still hopes she can find a way to bring the ladies back together again as a group. So I guess her kids are spread it out, because Shawnee was into buying real estate in California, living in California. We saw, she had her ex-husband Shaquille O'Neal, help her buy this house that she wanted. It was smaller, but I guess she went to Texas. Some of her kids is in Texas, who knows. So she's going to be focusing on that situation, and we're going to see what happens with that. So I'm just like And she's going to try to bring the ladies together. You already know the situation, how that's going to go down, because she ain't trying to bring nobody together. She wants to see the drama. And also, Shawnee don't like to lose. And Shawnee don't like to be made a fool of. And Shawnee don't like for people to say shit about her that she believes that's not true, and it actually goes viral. Like what, OG has said about Shawnee. People talk about Shawnee and said nasty things about Shawnee that has left the show, but none of it stuck. But when it comes to OG, what OG said about Shawnee O'Neal, it did stick. So it's going to be hard for her to let that go. But if she is the new and improved spiritual, and God and church, and also trying to change a movement about Black Lives Matters and having panels on her Instagram account about how we can make it better, things to change, things to do, Shawnee O'Neal wouldn't be, going after OG. But Shawnee O'Neal got to get her revenge. She got to do something to vindicate herself, because Shawnee O'Neal was very bothered by the situation, because she was on Instagram Live with her husband, her ex-husband, Shaquille O'Neal, basically saying that she is not a colorist. And Shaquille O'Neal was saying he was dark skinned. They got dark skinned daughter. She did the interview with Lamar Hill, and then now she has a Instagram panel where she talks about Black Lives Matters and issues like that. So she's really trying to prove that she's not that person, and that shit stuck. So that's not cool. She feels a certain type of way about that. And if she doesn't get a chance to get OG again, because we don't know if OG is going to return for the next season, we don't know how long her contract is with Basketball Wives, but OG basically said that she's only here because of contract and she don't want to be fined. I was like, Yes, that situation is crazy. So we're going to see how that situation pans out. If Shawnee does a 180, that'll be good for TV. That'll be good for her brand. That'll just be good in general. But we all know you never put your faith or goodwill into good characters and prolific characters on reality TV, because they have to bring the mess. The mess is what it is. So you guys let me know what you think about that situation. I'm trying to find homegirl. I don't even know where she's at. Oh, here she is. Let me try. Here we go. So let's get into it when it comes to Malaysia. So we have the situation with Malaysia. And Malaysia's storyline is also a repeat storyline. Situations. Let me start this over. Let me go to properties. Here we go. Let me just make sure. Yeah, I had to turn that off. I didn't even know that it was on. But so let's get to Malaysia's situation. So Malaysia's storyline is that Malaysia is going to be teaching her children about police brutality, and she's also going to be teaching her children about how to deal with the police and things like that. And so with this time, with Black Lives Matter going on, with the movement, with all the protests that was going on throughout the pandemic and the summertime, Malaysia has an issue. She has a problem with police because her brother departed from this earth because of the because of the police. So she really is scared of the police. So she's going to revamp that storyline of her fear of police and what happened to her brother. And now she's going to be teaching her kids about police brutality, which we've seen her do before. But I guess she's going to enhance that situation. And also she's going to tell them how to deal with situation coming in contact with the police officers. So this is a storyline that's going to be rekindled. But we'll see how this situation pans out with her, because this is kind of like our old storyline becoming a new storyline because of what's going on today, which is not a bad situation. To teaching her kids about Black Lives Matter and also police brutality is a good situation, but we've seen this from her. So I think maybe she's going to be more in the mix of get into it with some of the girls. So because I don't think that storyline is going to really carry everything. So her and Jackie actually coming to a conclusion, or actually being cordial, or continuing their beef, it's going to probably be focused on that more than the storyline that is presented. And she may want to come closer to OG. She may want to come closer to the girls that she mistreated, or the girls that she did in Jennifer Williams, because if she's going to be teaching about Black Lives Matter, police brutality, and all that different stuff that foundational Black people experience in America, then you would think that she'll be more closer to her co-host, her cast members. So we're going to see what Malaysia brings to the situation. Talking about why bleach your skin. Oh, God. Well, people say that, but she keeps denying that she bleached her skin. OG can't hold up for herself. She doesn't need to help. I am Team OG, Jackie and Jennifer. We know that, but you know what? It gets hard, but hard. You know, when you having a bunch of people coming at you, and even though she's strong and tough, that's a whole lot of pressure. And we've seen the biggest of stars crack under the pressure when the team and people come after them. So, you know, it is what it is. She's strong, she's gonna hold her own, but at the same time, we gotta call out the bullshit and what's happening and what they're doing, because, you know, they be doing some shady-ish and they be doing some downright shadiness. So basically, I'm just letting you guys know what to look out for, what's going to be happening. These supposed to be, you know, Evelyn Lozada and Shawnee O'Neal for a long time. When the season ended, they was church, Jesus, you know, going to all types of Christian and church events and blase the third, and posting God and prayers and everything else. So when this show get on, we want to see some of that. Oh, we want to see some of that Evelyn. We want to see some of that Shawnee O'Neal. We want to see some real shit. So if they don't bring none of that ish that they've been putting out here for the last year on the show, then they're fugazi, and we gotta call them out on that fugazi every second, every chance we get, because you don't use God and don't use, you know, colorism to say that you're not colorist, and you're doing all these panels and you support Black Lives Matters, this and that, and then you get on this show and you dog out your sisters, and then you dog out everybody else, and then on top of that, you're not open and you're not willing to hear. You're not willing to hear your faults. You know, you just only want to point out somebody's faults because you think because you've been on TV forever, which, you know, they're entitled to think that way. It is what it is. So we'll get to, so, you know, that's the situation. So don't be out here talking about all, and then you got Evelyn Lozada talking about she's Afro-Latina. Let's see this Afro-Latina this season. Let's see Jesus. Let's see, you know, you do something different. Let's see that. Let's see you mature, Evelyn. Let's see you be a different person. Let's see you be a better person. Let's see something, because you're out here claiming that you're in Jesus. You're out here claiming you're saving women. You're out here claiming all this other stuff. Let's see you do something that is different other than like what we've been seeing. Because if not, that means all that shit that OG said was true, because it was a lie. You're out here claiming, you know, Afro-Latina, all this and that, doing all these interviews. But if you get back on the show and you're not open to how someone says that they feel that you made them feel because of things that you said and did and posted, and you totally ignore them, that means that all that shit is bullshit. You need to be called up on it. But Evelyn Lozada did apologize, you know, to, you know, CC Gutierrez, but she didn't apologize, you know, to OG. So, you know, you got that situation going on. So that's a whole lot. So, and with them storylines, and Kristen Scott, her storyline is going to be Kristen is leading her voice to Black Lives Matter movement and fighting social injustice. So that's what Kristen Scott's going to be doing. That's going to be her storyline. As I don't know if she's moved out of that, you know, basement apartment or whatever the case may be. But that's going to be her storyline, because she's probably going to talk about CC. She's probably going to talk about, you know, her father-in-law. She's probably going to do all that shit or whatever. But that's our main focus storyline, is Black Lives Matter. And she's going to talk about the situation growing up in Louisiana and being the only black girl in the class, or being very few black girls in the classroom. And she got picked on and she got mistreated for being dark skinned. So she's going to equate that to OG and say, OG, I never, you know, thought anything about you like this or that. I didn't treat you like this. I understand what you're saying because I experienced. That's okay. Like, if she's gonna be sincere with it, okay. But let's see how you act after. So that's going to be her storyline, because she's been out here, you know, doing interviews talking about how bad she was treated in Louisiana, the injustice that she treated, the colorism that she was treated while she was growing up. And she's going to associate that with OG, and how can she be a colorist and she didn't attack OG for that, or she's going to understand, because she did say she understands what OG is feeling. But once she gets around Shawnee, Malaysia, and Evelyn, she might change up. It is only for people who are Team OG. I know, I'm a damn mess. It's been a long time since I really liked a person. You know, when the February 9th, it starts. I'm going to be on Tuesday on VH1. Black Lives Saving a lot of reality TV storylines. Miss T, you ain't lying, baby girl. This is all it's about. This is what they're doing, because it's the present. So, you have that. So I talked about Kristen. So that's going to be Kristen new storyline. And I put half of that video up, but you got to see Kristen Scott out here selling her old worn out sneakers and pocketbooks. So let's get into this situation. This is Naya. Naya is she has a sister. They are from Memphis. And basically she's going to be on, Basketball Wives. And, basically they're going to be entrepreneurs on the show. They're going to get introduced to Basketball Wives. They seem like they're going to be cool with Jackie. I think Naya Dorsey is going to be cooler more with Jackie Christie, because you already see them dancing and stuff. So she's one of the sisters from Memphis. And, she got a great personality. I believe she's single. She doesn't have any children. She knows a lot of people in Hollywood, but she doesn't have a fan base. She might do music, but she also sells swimwear. She sell swimsuits and things like that. And she's going to be entering Basketball Wives this season. She's going to be in the mansion and everything else. She seems like a cool person. They got her and her sister got a good upbringing, a good background. They was raised with a lot of, empowerment, too as well. But, reality TV can change that shit. But generally, they have their own mind. They was taught and they was raised the way that you would want your kids to be raised. And they had a 2-parent household. And they're very close to their family. Family come first before anything else. So this is Naya Dorsey. She's one of the new girls. And this is her sister. Her sister is Nora, Dolce. So Nora and her sister are going to be entering Basketball Wives. Nora Dolce has, 2 children. She has a husband, as you can see him on the screen. He played for the NBA. He played for the Memphis Tigers, Memphis, Memphis, whatever. He played for Memphis and pro. And then he went overseas and he played for, the Filipino Associate Basketball League or whatever. But they've been married since 2015. They got 2 children. They seem like they got a happy marriage, a good marriage. He seems like he's a hands-on father too. And also Nora, she's a hairstylist, a hairdresser. I think she may have her own wig lines. See the wig that you see that she has on with the red? She dyes her wig. She does all different types of stuff. And I think she sells some other things too as well. But these are the 2 new ladies that are entering. They seem to be cool and down to earth, and their family looks really good. Their father was very, prolific and very prestigious in Memphis, and he done a lot of good. The mother, was a good mother too as well. She done prestigious things too, and they got a good reputation in Memphis. So they're entering the show, and Jackie loves beautiful young women, so it's going to be on and popping with Jackie. So we got that situation. And we got Liza, Lamar Odom. She's going to enter the show. And she's doing it for the cash rooms, everything around me, dollar bill, y'all. So she's doing it for the money to pay for her children's college and everything else. She's going to probably air out Lamar Odom on how he treated her, the Kardashians. And also she's here for the money. So she's going to be a wild card too. She's a wild card with the 2 new sisters is the wild card. But also when it comes to Eliza, she's cool with Jackie. She's cool with Jackie Christie too as well. She has a relationship with Jackie. She has a relationship with, Shawnee O'Neal. And she does have a relationship with Evelyn Lozada. I believe she has a relationship with Malaysia too. I don't think she does not have a relationship with OG as I could see. I see her and all the other ladies that I just named. They are all on their Instagram together. You know what I mean? So I don't know how they're going to use Eliza. They're going to have her spill the tea on Lamar Odom. But, her and Evelyn going to have a fake storyline going on because Evelyn used to work or still works for Khloe Kardashian. And, Khloe was married to Lamar Odom. But I think they're over that situation, so they're going to let Liza tell her story. And Lamar Odom has had a book out, maybe a year or a year and a half ago. And he's in the media for all this, fugazi shit that's going on. Lamar almost died. So she has a good storyline too, because we never heard from her or her side of the story through a lot of things. So her and Jennifer got a golden storyline. Their storyline is golden. And also finding out how OG's going to play the situation. Because if she didn't want to be there in the first place, she can totally play them dust. But it says that she's going to be optimistic. So we're going to see how that pans out. Jackie is the only one with... Oh, I forgot my baby Jackie. I forgot about Jackie. Okay, Jackie's storyline. Okay, so I almost forgot about Jackie. Thank you. How many women are there? It's going to be a whole lot. Okay. I'm not sure if... what's her name? What's that woman's name? British. Not... Is it British? British Williams, is that? Yeah, British Williams. It was word that she was going to be on the show, but they don't even list her in the credits. They don't list her as a friend. They don't list her storyline or whatever. Nothing. Lamar Odom, Trina's mother, they listed her. So, and they listed the two sisters. Why they didn't, list British? And this is from VH1. This is not something that, I got from somewhere. This is from truly original, and it's also from VH1. Excuse me. So, let's get to Jackie's storyline. So, which Jackie? Okay, Jackie. In addition, Jackie to start her new adventures. So Jackie's going to be starting new adventures. Jackie got some new adventures. So one of them is the Jackie Christie Project. And the other one is, Second Chance. So Jackie has, a show called Second Chance, giving people a second chance. And then she also has a lingerie line. She has the lingerie on in this picture, but I thought I had the lingerie picture of her in the lingerie. I think she's in the lingerie. I'll show you. She's in the video with the lingerie on. So she has three new businesses. Jackie Christie has, the lingerie line that she's selling now. She has Second Chance, the TV show that she's producing, and she already has episodes out. And then she has the Jackie Christie. Where's Jackie at? She has the Jackie Christie Project. So she has three things. And if you can see underneath, on this post, you see Liza, Lamar Odom's ex. She's under there. She's liking, Jackie Christie's post. I only see, Lamar Odom ex, Liza Morales. I only see her on, Shawnee O'Neal, Evelyn Lozada, and Malaysia and Jackie. That's it. So I don't see her on Jennifer. Don't see her on OG. So, and she's probably going. I haven't seen her on Febreze, but Febreze don't really be on Instagram like that. So that's the situation with that. So there you have it. Okay, so that's Jackie. So I got the two new sisters, Febreze, OG, Kristen, and Evelyn. We got Jackie, we got Malaysia, we got Shawnee, and who else? It goes, despite the going through the mess of it. And we did Jennifer Williams. And so Jennifer Williams basically Jennifer's going to be talking about her mental capacity of everything that happened with Tim Norman and that whole situation, where people are going to believe her because Jennifer could have possibly lost her life being with him, and she's going to really dramatize that too. So Jennifer has a good storyline. Liza Morales has a good storyline. It only depends on how she presents her storyline. Is she going to be able to present it in a certain way where she looks like she's the victim and not bashing? That's going to be great for her. And so that Jennifer storyline and Liza Morales storyline is pretty decent too. Jackie Christie, her storyline is, they say her storyline is about her businesses, but Jackie is going to be in everybody's business because that's how Jackie is. Jackie's a friendly person. Jackie likes to have fun. Jackie likes to be around people. Jackie likes to talk to people. Jackie likes to be cool with people. She doesn't like to hold on to beef. Not now. Before, Jackie will hold on to a grudge, but I think she wants to be Malaysia's friend more than ever, and she just wants to be cool with everybody. But my advice, to the new girls, Naya and Nora, two sisters from Memphis, and also, you know, Eliza Morales, is just stay neutral. Just stay neutral. Don't try to get into nobody's beef, because these beefs go way back. Let everybody defend yourself, excuse yourself, and whenever you say something, make sure you repeat it over and over, especially if there's a question mark, whether you're shading somebody or dissing somebody, you know, or addressing somebody. Address them more than once so it can get filmed and it doesn't be on a cutting room floor where you look like you're a problem, you're a troublemaker or a follower. The last thing you want to look like is a follower or choosing sides, because none of these beef that they got going on a basketball wife from last season or season before has nothing to do with you three ladies. So don't get involved. Don't choose sides. If one person goes crying, stay seated. If they start talking, be like, you know, I need to hear both sides of the story. Maybe you guys can sit down and have a conversation, but I don't want to judge, you know, anybody off of what you're saying, and vice versa, because if not, you're going to get played. So you guys let me know what you think about the situation. So that's basketball wise. What these guys saying good for her? Jackie, Cece, Naya, Brandy, and Duffy are literally the only wives in the show. Facts. Yep, facts. That's true. Jackie, Christie, Cece, Naya. Yep, Brandy, Duffy. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think Duffy's married. Duffy's not married. Duffy is just shacking up, baby. Duffy is just shacking up. So if anybody want to call in, I forgot to put all that up on the screen. If you guys want to call in and tell me what you think about the situation, you want to give your opinion, your thoughts on the Wendy Williams situation, your thoughts on the basketball wife situation, call in, tell me what's up. If not, I will be back tonight so we can review, you know, growing up hip hop Atlanta. It's going down. Miss Deb is doing the most. Miss Deb is crazy out here in these streets. She is married. Well, last time when she was pregnant, she had the baby. I didn't see that she was married. She was shacking up. I thought she was just shacking up, unless she got married like within the last 3 months or the last 4 months or 5 months. Maybe that could have been her announcement. Duffy. Hey, what's up? How you doing, Major? What's going on? So, yep, that's the situation. So we got into Wendy Williams going in, her story, her situation about being assaulted by, you know, legendary R&B singer-songwriter Sherick, aka Lamar Smith, and also Wendy Williams shading Reginae Porter, you know, and also YFN Lucci and Lil Wayne, and she don't give a damn. And then we went through the basketball wives, you know, storyline. So that's basically it. So I will see you guys back here tonight, you know, to do, you know, growing up hip hop review. We're going to talk about that situation, see what happens, because I really think that the Brat is going to bring her situation full circle, and that's going to be interesting. And, you know, Deb is going to defend herself and her stance. You know, Deb ain't never backed down for nothing, and people are going to be looking at her like, what? And Johnny Blaze, even though she changed her name, she's going to be in the mix, so it's going to get good. It might even get better than Real Housewives of Atlanta. Lord have mercy. Yes, Major. There's a whole lot going on. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you, for real. Thank you. So we're going to call it a night. I will see you guys later on. Thank you guys for coming through. Please hit the like button. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you, Deb. Thank you, Major. Thank you, Happy Days. Thank you guys for coming through. I do appreciate it. Miss T, Beauty B, Babies in the building, LSW. Thank you. Owens is in the building. Sherrick is in the building. You know, Miss T, Drebs in the building too as well. Who is Howard too. Thank you guys so much. Please hit that like button. It'll be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart. Peep Squad is in the building, baby. McCoy was in the building. Thank you so much, Miss T, for coming through. Thank you, Low Key. Thank you, Tree. Thank you. Peep Squad is in the building. Thank you, Diva, for coming through too as well. Towanda 47, thank you so much. Linnell, thank you too as well. Rashida Libra, thank you for coming through. Peep Squad is in the building, baby. It is is going to be off the chain. I can't wait to see Wendy Williams documentary and movie 2 as well. That is going to be crazy. Oh, Lord have mercy. And basketball storyline, them being locked up in a house together, and all these innuendos and these, parlay, facades that some of these ladies put on for a whole year on Instagram, doing interviews. Let's see if they bring that shit to the show. If not, we gonna give it to them. Peace. Peace and blessing to all my peeps and my peoples. Peep Squad is in the building. Joy, peace, love, happiness, protection, health, and wealth all day.